And good afternoon, everybody. Jim Miller and David Kaplan coming to you as we are taking a look at some Derby prep races, Cap. 10-point race. Now we're going to rattle through them a little bit because we have 4 of them to cover here. But here's the field for the John Battaglia Memorial. 10 points to the winner only. But still, you have to look at this race a little bit because you may see some horses popping back either at Turfway later on in the spiral or heading to Keeneland possibly for the Bluegrass. There's so many different options. And I looked at your top pick in this race, my friend. Your top pick was a huge price, 15-1 with On Thin Ice.
This 3-year-old, the workout times all seem to be right on point where I like to see them as he gets into this race. I don't think the field is like, oh my goodness. Tiz the Bomb is a very, very good horse. I'll give you. Tiz the Bomb is an excellent horse. I just really like the shape On Thin Ice is in heading into this race, combined with the trainer, combined with the workout times. I'm taking a shot.
I'm kind of on the same page for you when it comes to the selection and how the race is going to unfold. I think there's a lot of pace in this race, and because of that, I think there's going to be a closer in here. I went to the aptly named, especially with baseball right now going on, horse right next to that, the 4, Stolen Base. Stolen Base is a horse that should be sitting back early on, should be flying late in the lane. Both of our horses, very similar running styles in here. But man, look at the price on your horse. Your horse 15-1. I'm 7-2 in here. Maybe we put a little bit of an exacta together in here. All right, now we're going to the 50-point races here, Cap. The Gotham is a 1-turn mile, Cap. So when you get to the Derby, you're looking at 2 turns. A lot of these Derby preps are 2-turn races as well.
Life is great. Now, what concerns me about this horse, ran his last 3 times going 7 furlongs. He had a victory. He had a second and a third. He ran well. The one concern I have is it's a little bit longer of a race. It's a mile race. I want to see how this horse handles the distance. That's why I think I'm getting increased odds.
Yeah.
Get him to 15-1.
Glider's a horse that comes from Tampa Bay Downs. This is a horse that you get Antonio Gallardo aboard. Now, Gallardo's a guy that could probably ride 4 or 5 favorites every day at Tampa. He thinks this is his Derby horse. He thinks this is the horse that's going to give him the biggest shot to possibly maybe come out of this race, run well, head to the Wood Memorial and run well. So I think Glider's a horse that could settle back early on and actually come running at him lane to lane. Good prices in here for both of us. And we'll tease it a little bit because this is a race that's going to lead to your wagers down the line. But man, you could take a commanding lead in the wagering department. Just looking even at your top pick before we get into the other selections there for the Gotham. All right, now we're going to stay east, but we're going to go southeast for our next race. I think this is a pretty good race here. It's the Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream Park, Cap.
Mo Donegal is probably the class of the race.
Yep.
But I also looked at a couple of long shots like Dean Delivers, Rattle and Roll. I just think in these prep races, not everyone's sure how we're going to handicap and how we're going to put odds on these horses. And you can find some real value. I mean, I don't know about a $152 winner, but you're going to find some real value if you really do your homework.
But I want to talk about Emmanuel as well, because this is a horse that I agree with you. Todd Pletcher, Cap, always has horses in the Derby. He usually has multiple horses in the Derby. And a horse like Emmanuel is an interesting horse. I think this is a horse that is going to take him all the way around on the front end. And I think this is a horse that's going to be very tough. When you're looking underneath in this race, this is something that's a little bit interesting too, because I want to jump to our long shots right here, Cap.
The question on this horse is it hasn't run a lot.
Right.
And so it's had some time off. We'll see how this horse ends up. I looked at it hard. I really did. It's a horse that I think, having been down for a bit,
right,
I question how sharp it's going to be going into this race. But it is a quality horse. And so I took it 15-1, all
15-1, yeah, man. My long shot here is going to be the 10. That's Giant Game. This is a horse that's bred to run all day. Sired by Giants Causeway. This was a $500,000 purchase. The horse has gone the distance. And this is a horse that did not run well at all in that last race in the Holy Bull. but the races prior were both pretty good efforts. But for both of our long shot plays, this is a race that is fairly wide open. I mean, we look, Emmanuel is the horse we both have on top. That horse is 9-2, but I could see both those long shots possibly getting into the mix, Cap. All right, Cap, now we go to the West Coast, and this could be an interesting race for our final prep of the weekend. It's the San Felipe. It comes at Santa Anita. Here's the thing, though, about this race. Santa Anita, they're having rain out west. That track does not handle rain well. The question is, how quickly is the track going to dry out? What condition is it going to be? Because really on the West Coast in California, you don't run a whole lot on slop.
Doppelganger's a great horse, but it is also a sprinter.
Yep.
It does not have unbelievable stamina, and you've got a mile and a 16th. How is this horse going to handle, along with Forbidden Kingdom, Beautiful Art? How are these horses going to handle the increased distance? But I just think Doppelganger is a really awesome horse.
But here's the thing. That was a 5-horse field. This is a 7-horse field. There's the potential for a little bit more pace in here. I tended to wonder, Cap, if the 3-horse in this race, the other Baffert entry, just coming in off a maiden score, is in there more or less just to keep the pace honest. Do you think that's a possibility? It's the same owners as well, too. I think there's a potential of that.
Absolutely. We need to make sure we have one of our own who can help us blaze a path to victory. You're talking about, I think it's pronounced Armagnac.
Armagnac. Yep, Armagnac.
Yeah, with John Velasquez up. So you got a star-studded field of jockeys and trainers here. Forbidden Kingdom's a really, really good horse. And, you know, there's something about Cabo Spirit, maybe because I love Cabo, that intrigued me.
And for the sleepers, yours is going to come with Legendary Lore, a horse that we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. This is a pretty good sleeper, Cap, 15-1 on a horse that I think might be able to be a little bit of a factor.
Yep, Rafael Bejarano up, a horse that I think could be a real factor in the stretch. Watched a little tape on Legendary Lore. It's a really beautiful horse. And again, if I'm going to take a shot on a sleeper, I'm going to take a shot with some odds.
My sleeper is going to come in the Gotham. That's Bold Journey, 6-1 in the morning line. Again, I'm looking for horses that are going to rate back a little bit early on and try to close up some ground late. This horse went the mile in that last out, was able to settle back a little before getting into the mix there, and battled late into the lane before giving way inside the final 16th. So I want to show how you're going to play your $100 in this spot because, man, you're hoping Emmanuel runs big in here. And if Emmanuel runs big, you're going to be in great shape.
Yeah, if Emmanuel can run well for me, I got a chance to make some cash. I like that horse, as I said to you earlier. And then I'm taking a shot, see what I can do with that exacta box and see if we can find a way to cash a few tickets.
I went to New York. I went to the Gotham, and it was only because I waited until the odds came out. The odds just came out this morning. I was kind of shocked to see 8-1 on Glider. I thought Glider was going to be a little bit shorter price because it is Mark Casse. You have Gallardo coming to ride the horse, but he's 8-1. So because of that, I put this horse in the mix. I put win and place money on this horse. I'm going to have to make it 35, 30. It's whatever. You can keep your $10 for that. So I was off a little bit from my betting of 100. $5 exacta box. 2, 5, 8 in that spot, but I think we can both make a little bit of money in there. Now, Cap, Spring Stakes Showdown time. Now, again, 3 races for the Spring Stakes Showdown. There are 3 of these Derby preps, and because of that, you kind of have to take a look at the potential of making a little bit of money. So for you and I separating ourselves, it's going to come down to the Gotham, my friend. I'm worried. If you hit here, you're going to blow way ahead of me because this is a horse and life is great at 15-1. You're going to get tremendous odds.
I'm going to be out of town on vacation. I'm going to have my iPad up, my Club Hawthorne app open, which everyone needs to download. Go and get the Club Hawthorne app. Go to hawthorneracecourse.com. We are getting into awesome racing. If I happen to see my horse Life is Great front end and finishing in front, oh man, you're going to be getting a stream of text.
I'll begin to take that text probably on repeat for a while. Hey, I give you credit. The fact that you're going to be on vacation and you're still going to be watching, that's a beautiful thing. You have yourself a great trip, Cap. You have yourself a great weekend. I hope you run second to my horse in that race in the Gotham, and we can win the other 2. How's that sound?
Sounds like I would like to change the result of the
Which is just fine. But Cap, have yourself a great weekend. We'll do this again next week. Sound good?
We'll talk to you next Thursday. I look forward to it. Jimmy!
You got it, my friend. Good luck, everybody, this week. Don't forget to get your Spring Stakes Showdown selections in. Check out the PointsBet Sportsbook. Cap's going to be nice and tan next week, right, Cap? You're going to have that tan going?
Might even have a cocktail in my hand with a little umbrella.
Beautiful. We can do that. Good luck, everybody. See you again next week.
Take that.